Shepard to VanVleet, on ball, other side, gets it to go. Pretty play there for Houston. He knew the whole.
It was just the offense.
VanVleet, layup, good. It's pretty on the play. They don't come. Drops it back on the floor. VanVleet, catch and release. Finally gets one to go. His first three up. Out of 4 to go on opening night. VanVleet off the pick.
There you go.
Gets it to go. So he saved it. That was it. Again, the Grizzlies just decimated by injuries last year. VanVleet, good side, struggled up until step up, and he did just that. Off the pick, leaning 3, and Fred VanVleet now 2 for 2.
Again. Watch Landale on the glass.
Deep 3. Good for VanVleet. Too strong that time. Offensive rebound. Back out to VanVleet. Wide open. Got it. There you go. VanVleet. 3-ball number 5.
VanVleet wide open 3. And he puts it in. Fred VanVleet.
This season. He's got a lot more muscle.
VanVleet over Soto. VanVleet.
Enhanced for sure and blown up in the next 12 games.
VanVleet, big 3, gets it back, fakes the 3, drops to the rim, easy 2 for him. 7.8 left to go.
Block for the big fella.
VanVleet on the pull-up, and he hits it. VanVleet 1 up to 3. And connects for VanVleet. 23 bench points for the Spurs tonight. VanVleet pulling up. Leslie's had a rebound, it doesn't matter. VanVleet, wide open 3. It's good. With Lively switched on. Trying to go around him, and Lively challenges the shot, but VanVleet finishes. Irving hits the 3 over the rookie. Well, the Mavs need kind of scoring right now. VanVleet answers back with a 2.
Much better ball movement. There you go. And VanVleet caps off the possession with his first basket. With the left hand, VanVleet, only his second basket tonight. He's 2 for 12. He's got a lot here in the regular season.
Phil Bridges, an NBA Iron Man. Fred just had to go, but the running joke is to see how.
Played in 83 games after being traded in Brooklyn by the Suns. He'll pull back 2 on the line, dribble good though. For Fred
It's defending, playing as a unit, playing together.
Another bucket. Fred VanVleet now.
He does.
Off that double pick, into the lane, steps through, tried to get the ball on Bridges, avoided the contact, still able to make it.
He's the greatest athlete, but he's a winner.
That's going to count. The 4 from long range. The Rockets only 1 of 7. VanVleet flipped it up and in as his run. Fred VanVleet comes into the lane, keeps Bridges on his hip pocket.
That's tough. Like you said.
Time on this possession. Checked in, catches it 25 feet away. That's a right out there, three-ball from VanVleet. The hope.
This was a unique one, obviously, because how dynamic Wendy is. You see Fred getting that to go. Watch him.
Here's VanVleet, slips by CP3, gets to the rim, lays it up and in. He's coming off his best scoring game of the season against New York. VanVleet into the lane, off balance, scores.
I love that. You know, Fred obviously looking for a whistle, but follow through with the shot and it goes. Thought a man should have kept going there.
4-3, Fred VanVleet. His first NBA career. And that's a tough bucket.
Can we get that every game? Is there a possibility? Do we every game? Can I work that out?
We talked about being in shape. Over, and that's why the Rockets turned the ball over the fewest amount of times in franchise history a season ago, and actually are turning the ball over second triple of the game. VanVleet the run out, takes it, shot, throws it up and in.
It's such a difference with Fred Jones and Jalen Green, and those two with the two-man games continue to build. VanVleet
So it's not Ryan. He's got 20.
Did try to pass it in 3 seconds. Talking to the official about it.
The Rockets are just looking for any source of offense.
With Red VanVleet. VanVleet down the lane, lays it up, lays it in. He finally got a kind roll. And J.B. Bickerstaff, they're using a lot of fouls this afternoon. VanVleet for three, top of the key. That's got to feel good for VanVleet. VanVleet quick with the dribble, rises and fires and fills it.
You know, I was going to say, George,
He's got his groove back.
he's got his groove back. You got to be. Oh, man, they're kind of zoning things up.
Off the Landale screen, elbow J, and the first make of the night. Fred VanVleet coming off that sore hammy that again.
He's so fast.
But had to recover. Back to VanVleet for three. That's it to go. To Brooks. Hops into the lane. Back to VanVleet. 23 on the way. And it is good.
There you go. The closing
Three-point shooting team in the league. Real good. Back-to-back for quick outlet to VanVleet. There's some contact there. And hung on.
just zoning up.
VanVleet got baseline. Got pushed from behind. Action here. And Jock Landale was a plus 26 off the Rockets bench on Wednesday. Three goes down for Fred VanVleet. His first for him. He's a confidence guy. VanVleet from Shingun. His look at the three is good. The Rockets now are just raining him down from the heavens.
This is fun when the Rockets start moving hard to get skirmishes with Steven Adams.
2 for 1 here for the Rockets. VanVleet 4-3.
He's hot. The time here.
VanVleet down the lane, flipped it up, got him to go with some English. After the defensive effort leaked out, they didn't see it. Here comes Fred. Oh, he shielded the bigger man. Laying it up, but this is more like it. He's back in. VanVleet.
He's still on it.
16. Yeah, he's got a double-double on him. And Jabbar. Clock inside of 5. Here. Oh, hit it. That was way out there.
More of a facilitator last time out at 9-6. There's VanVleet for 3. That's good.
To make that shot.
VanVleet. The hesitation, he drives. Banks on the lane.
That was just a good move by a veteran player.
Missed the bunny. VanVleet the other way. Banks on the lane.
I tell you, Patrick would have.
Big outlet to VanVleet. Pull up 3. Got it. Back. Here's VanVleet. He'll pull up for 3.
I tell you what, he pulled up in transition. He should do a
7 field goals this quarter. Houston here's an upward number. VanVleet rattles it in. 5 seconds remaining. VanVleet drives. Tough layup going right at white. Rocket shot penalty 50% in the first half. And what do you know?
And Fred VanVleet is
Smith into the front court. Another Shingun and the
nice
easy basket for VanVleet. Did that at Wichita State Championship in Toronto. Banks home the layup.
Quicker to the basketball. The Houston Rockets, second chance opportunity presents a dilemma. A trap. Okay. That's a blowback.
Yeah, VanVleet, he's had some big scoring numbers, mostly activity
Defensively, with this unit on the floor. Really good. Again, there's VanVleet. You got to be careful and drop defense. 7-2 wingspan.
There's VanVleet, high off the glass, avoiding Brook Lopez. The lead is 10. Loses it. On the push, so good in the fast break point category as VanVleet fills it up.
Well, you know, Coach, you do defense with them.
Is VanVleet now with 16 points. VanVleet's been firing away here in the third quarter and picks up the deuce.
Well, he is so smart. Lead again, take handoff.
Oh my goodness, he's got the last 8 points. Goes for 3. Wow.
road trip, 28 Chicago, 20 on them late in the third, thanks to Fred VanVleet as he shoots over top of it, just checking the ball in, and another bucket for Fred VanVleet.
Just trying to match the toughness of the Rockets. That's the reputation around the league. And hey, man, plus 16 in this ball. The contact there creates here. He's going to double team.
Leads to a wide open shot. That bounces in for Fred VanVleet.
What you love is right in the
I'm on the opposite three of us, but we are relatively on the young side. Stop it, Bob! Fred VanVleet knocks down the three. The best stretch offensively for the Rockets. So this is a group that when they come on the floor the second unit, they make things happen for them. And Fred VanVleet is making things happen for the Rockets. His fourth.
You watch film, can confirm.
But is it with our audio? I think
VanVleet gets the Rockets back on the board after that. VanVleet one-on-one with Akia. Crosses him up a couple of times, rises up to the free throw line, and gets bounced.
There you go. That's one thing we've seen.
Up 5. There's VanVleet on reach, and the paint threw it up and in. It's a not being called for one. Van Thompson to Fred VanVleet, the midi. Good.
There you go. That's good.
This is VanVleet beyond the arc for good. Against the Boston Celtics. The contest over VanVleet is the tray. VanVleet says, welcome into the ballgame, bro. If the Rockets lose their last two, they're 2-2. VanVleet knocks down the triple. Rockets back up by 3. VanVleet crossover. Deep triple. Ridiculous. They don't get a lot of easy ones. VanVleet with the left. VanVleet inside, easy leg. VanVleet. Shot attempt. VanVleet up lane. No, but it's goaltend. Christian going off the move. Check out. VanVleet sets the beat, hits a three. Rockets answer. Over to VanVleet, sets the beat. Finally, the Rockets get a three.
Well, and Nick Nurse mentioned yesterday that he was specifically targeting yesterday's practice as the Rockets hit a shot there.
Risky move, too, to bring the ball back in front of the taller defender Thompson, but he pulled it off.
VanVleet from Sixers with 12 of their 14 made field goals coming in the blue rectangular painted area so far. VanVleet hits the jumper.
Another bright spot.
Smith ahead to Green. VanVleet catch and shoots. Rattles in. Sidewinder Trey. Nobody knows that one.
Rebounding percentage, so hopefully something they can take advantage of. VanVleet drives, shields the bigger guy, and then uses the rim. Gets it out there along Stephen Adams, VanVleet, and Dylan Brooks off the pick. Three goes down. The first of the game for Fred VanVleet. Williams, they'll rip and run. VanVleet goes to coast, the bump, the flip in, and one!
Rockets have to play with ball pressure here. They're not making good passes.
And we'll flip off the window. Nice touch. It's 15. Shot clock winding down. Makes the three. The Rockets need that. Tied it up at 67.
Yeah, right. Jabari at center.
VanVleet off the pick. Working on Williams. Pull back 2.
And Fred knows, hey, my team is struggling to score. I've got to take.
Rebound Houston. Outlet to VanVleet. From Brooks to the rim. Good on Hartenstein. The double, the kick, this for the tie. Yes! Season high, 31 for Fred VanVleet. Green on Williams to VanVleet from the parking lot.
Finish over the length. Here's VanVleet. The stare down three, and he knocks it home. Fred VanVleet. Red breaks it on to Fred VanVleet. He snatches it back and knocks down the 15-footer.
That was a really nice defensive squeeze.
They're trying to stick with Green. VanVleet hit a shot from there against OKC.
Nolan is probably going to try and flop on that for a charge as well.
VanVleet off glass. Miraculous shot.
Him actually, he's 3 of 4 from downtown. Missed his first.
This could be a breakout. at 5. You don't want to foul here if you're Sacramento. VanVleet couldn't turn the corner. Well defended, but that's a guy, folks.
Without Steph Curry, not Draymond Green. Just beat He was one of 10 against it, and everybody there know when the blitz is coming. It's our elite for a reason. All that championship experience. He hits the timely ones. He's got 11 now. See the veteran VanVleet kind of
going to get him reset. Shot clock at 4. VanVleet finds his spot and hits. Night averaging 23 points per game. This is VanVleet. That's good. Hasn't been hit. Rockets need points. VanVleet from the corner. He buries it.
VanVleet, beautiful move with the left hand.
And I love a tough coach because you know why? Winning isn't the best coaches in this league.
Shot clock winding down. VanVleet using that left hand again. Just his second field goal. He was 1 for 9. Push. VanVleet tries a three-pointer. Got it. Boy, it has been a struggle. 0 for 9.
VanVleet gets his first made field goal.
Remember I said that, you know.
VanVleet from the free throw line. He didn't score until the next whistle. VanVleet from the free throw line. Second time he's hit a shot from that exact spot on the floor. Whole phalanx of reserves getting ready to come in. Fred VanVleet's found a shot again. In my mind, the toughest man in the NBA. VanVleet's 4 for 4.
Just set a really good screen to get VanVleet
from behind the arc. That continues a trend over the last couple of weeks. Oh my goodness, Fred VanVleet. Fred VanVleet came into this one really. VanVleet had a foot on the line. It's a long 2 for the veteran from Rockford, Illinois. VanVleet. Oh, wouldn't you just know it? VanVleet with the left hand. He's always played bigger than his listed.
It'll be VanVleet, and he's got the triple. He's the senior citizen on this squad. Yep. Fred VanVleet with the left hand. He got home. And you mentioned him. Into the shot clock. Got the switch. And VanVleet gets the triple. So they are now 3. Backdoor boards inside the paint. Go wide open 3.
It's something to be said for paint touches.
They're up by 21. It'll be 24. Yes. In rhythm. And a timeout for Willie Green. Take the double. That brings up VanVleet.
That's what makes Şengün so good. His
missed by Jalen Green.
I'll tell you, I can say the same thing I said in the first half. The turnover.
That's getting left away because
And you know what you would love? To see them.
It's a little swing to VanVleet. Nasty. Pull back to snatch back. Wow, just snatch back hardly. He's a guy who can get you 50 in a hurry. He's off to a great start. VanVleet gets the twin right back. Gets second triple. Two's going to get tonight. He's got 15, 6 of 7 shooting. VanVleet for 3. So that's his third. That's his. In a game that will be tight. VanVleet off the screen for 3. His 4th. He's got 12. Get the ball to the rim. Rockets lead by 1. Stop and pop. Did he call glass? Did he call? Happy camper since he's come to Minnesota. He's been a happy camper. In 1990s, as great as those Rockets teams were, VanVleet catching on the still fires and makes the 3. From 20. There you go. Good action. Overall, and this is with Şengün, 7 for 7. VanVleet gets one to go. Needed down to second floor. His off number. Şengün to Fred. Resets. Lets it fly. Got it.
Could have been an and one. Good no call there from
Back on the drive. Heat do come in 10th in the league in defense as Fred VanVleet. Shingun out of VanVleet. He turns the corner, comes into the paint, throws it up. And it somehow goes in. There you go, Bill. VanVleet from the free throw line. Oh, touchdown part of the rim, his first basket of the game. Youngest guy on their roster at 20 years of age, VanVleet. And he knocks it down. So, we need a lot more of that, especially from him again all game. As VanVleet blows by him, goes right to the rim, and lays it up and in. Good. Pull back 20-2. Green Hachimura. Back to Brooks, and VanVleet from the wing. 3 of the game. Good. The big piece. Beginning Tuesday night. Rockets and Wizards. VanVleet 4-3. Gets it back out to Shingun. Now to VanVleet. The 3 is in the air, and it is down the hatch. And two teams that don't get a ton of their points from threes, get a ton of their points from threes. VanVleet with a timely drive and score. Forever defending VanVleet, takes him off the dribble, brings himself up in the circle, jumper good.
Fred saw that play the whole way.
Leading all rookies in blocks. VanVleet brings it up from 3.
We saw him shoot before the game.
Jersey retired on the 15th from St. Francis. Mid-range jumper by Fred is good. Fred VanVleet. First. Green splitting the double, swinging it over. VanVleet. This second. VanVleet using that offhand and scores. VanVleet double figures along with the man. VanVleet took the cookies. Gets the layup.
This out.
5 players within the draft and then supplemented the roster with some quality vets like him. Fred VanVleet by Adams. Fred driving the baseline. Tough lady.
Go! Drives on up. The Grizzlies collapse on him. 3 by VanVleet. That's in. Fred VanVleet. This is not a high accuracy. VanVleet going all the way. Scoring and drawing the foul. Cannot give away possession. VanVleet settles into a 3 and rains it in. Because this team is good enough group all year long. VanVleet from the top of the key. Good rhythm to VanVleet. Screened by Shin tonight. On the attack. 15 for VanVleet. Shingun screens and VanVleet drains a 3. VanVleet wants a screen from Shingun. Gets it, casts for 3, get another one. VanVleet pushes on to VanVleet. Shot clock down to 3. VanVleet fades, fires, and fills it up. 3-point game.
And Adams. Here, Ryan.
There you go.
Shingun, VanVleet the 3. That was first point of the game.
That 51 action is special.
Shot clock winding down. VanVleet is grenade.
Team in the league. They are spectacular. VanVleet, and VanVleet knocks in the triple.
Yeah, a mistake there defensively on your first.
Since then, the Nuggets defense 7, excuse me, that shot is good. And since then, the Rockets 1 of 9, so now make it 2 of. David Gould will be better. VanVleet on the run, got it.
He's the one guy that's.
Eason kicks it outside. VanVleet calculates and Celtics on the inbounds here is VanVleet from 3, got it. VanVleet is a closer. Yeah, that's good. They won't go certain again. That's what they're saying now. VanVleet comes down and finish.
That's clear. Probably the strongest, if not one of the strongest in the league.
VanVleet for 3. Dirk muscles high. VanVleet will cross over. It's cut off. He's in trouble. Sams caught the ball. And then it blinked off his ball. Green on Cunningham. Back to a trailing VanVleet. And he is still putting his second.
A lot more energy up late, looking like himself.
For VanVleet.
There you go.
Good look, and he makes it. He's 3 of 5 now. Percent of the 3-point line. VanVleet, he answers with his 4-3 of the game this season in a long time. VanVleet, he gets the 3 to go. His 5th.
Pretty good action without he gets the ball.
VanVleet off balance, 2 gets it to go.
And again, Fred's going to have to be aggressive here. I know he's been kind of...
Mitchell Garland, they have combined for 12 of the Cavs' 23 as that goes down. And the Rockets make their first 3, gets it back. Comes back on high to Fred, he's open. He makes it.
There you go, Rockets.
Oh, little pull-up 3. Oh, there you go. His 3rd. He's got 9. 10 straight. The bounce pass underneath Thompson to VanVleet. And it brought rain and also brought 3 points. Fred again, this time a little bit of a heat check.
There you go, man. He's on.
He's been 9. VanVleet in the middle of the lane and scores again. He's got 18. His first made nothing for the Rockets here in this quarter. VanVleet for 3. Oh, a big shot. They finally end the drought. Now to Dylan Brooks up top to VanVleet. Launches a deep one. Hits it and ties the game.
Put the team on their back. I mean, Houston just fighting. I mean, this zone is...
Brooks he'll repost. Snap a pass to Green off the VanVleet. VanVleet for 3. VanVleet hits 7 of those. And Houston back to Thompson. Thompson trying to go over the top. He almost got spin by Garland. VanVleet has another. Miss. It's picked up by Garland. Thompson back to an open VanVleet. VanVleet had a handful. There he is again, back to VanVleet, late in the shot clock. A Mayday 3 is good. VanVleet, Green out of VanVleet. And look at string together a couple of stops. Not that time. They're splitting in this building. Thompson, he'll deal to VanVleet for 3. Oh my.
In the takeaway. Out to VanVleet, sets his feet, hits the 3.
That's why. The reason... Oh, this... Man, I do truly love basketball.
Cam gives Brooks to the corner. VanVleet loads up. Feet fly. Matters not. VanVleet with the 3 and a timeout for the Hawks. Ken Goon pulls it back. Gives to Fred. Is good. 5 points for
a big man. Yes, he caught it above his shoulder. He's been shooting well. And they get it to go. VanVleet wrestling. The missing 4 players. It's VanVleet with the 3. Both time.
Again, it shows you the depth of
VanVleet. Got the screen, sets up for the 3. Oh, here we go, partner. Here. Number 2 team in the West. Number 3 team in the NBA. He positions it.
Rockets lone home game in this sea of road games. The Rockets playing so well. They start off the game so well. There's just a lot of bodies in pain. VanVleet! Into the box.
See the Suns not going out to the board. They're really trying to get back to take away these.
First shot. Thinks otherwise. Now VanVleet is supposed to set the table. So smart.
Their season, you know, they've got a chance to get in the play-in, so that's everything that
relatively quiet game so far offensively. VanVleet with the antidote.
go down there and make a play.
VanVleet contact, play on.
Playing through that.
Chico through to VanVleet. Ooh, moonball. Over the top of Edwards for 3.
That's how you answer back. Fred not 100%. 2 guys like Klay Thompson, make sure he doesn't get a good look.
VanVleet.
All the way back.
Fred VanVleet back on the floor. Good sign. Gets it right back.
Out for Chicago and didn't get much action.
Back to VanVleet at the foul line.
lot of energy. Size of Houston was the pace and fits the hot.
And he's been providing all the offense as of late for the Rocket game. He's got 63 on the game. VanVleet, he's been the Rockets' offense. He's still been the Rockets' offense. Take the shot here. Take the shot. VanVleet let that great second quarter get scored. Back to Alby. To VanVleet. He's open the three.
Got it. VanVleet. Good first half. Walk through VanVleet. Shot below 40% shooting for the game. VanVleet from up top. That's good for three. And got the rebound though. Ricochets to Shingun. Second chance. VanVleet. Nothing but net. That's the ones that hurt. 7 triples this quick flip. Rockets 13. Over to Jabari Smith.
Jump up them with personnel, playing style, all of it. Now VanVleet off the pick. He'll try to get it back. This from downtown.
Used to need that, but again, right now, he's the key on the outside.
VanVleet in the lane will step back and let Gayon skates and knock it down to LA. One time when he sent to Atlanta, they ultimately released him as well. Phoenix the two. Oh, the closeout. Fred VanVleet got him to go. This game, after it was all Atlanta rebounding-wise to start, and the closeout. VanVleet made the shot. VanVleet the catch, the shot.
That wasn't a good one.
Stand 14-7, fast break points. Advantage VanVleet on a straightaway bucket. And his first made field goal.
The strongest player in the league. He is an offensive class eater as VanVleet makes him pay. Turns it. Shingun right back to VanVleet.
You see on the Rockets bench that's like, okay, man, I'm going to get some more minutes.
VanVleet on the kick out and quickly strikes for three.
Can't give.
Phoenix earlier this year. VanVleet trailing, connects on the three ball. Eason, mid-first round pick, back at 22. Spent one season.
VanVleet won a championship with Toronto. Walk shot is up and in. A three by Fred VanVleet. Life. He's looking like the Vincent we saw with Miami. VanVleet patiently off the glass for a deuce.
Stein, a former Rocket, and Steven, a former Thunder.
And there's Fred VanVleet's first 2 points of the game, and the Rockets beat the Thunder here earlier this season.
Doing a good job zoning up the paint.
Thompson finds VanVleet. He makes his first three. That's two straight makes. To get it in, does the VanVleet. Flips by Gilgeous-Alexander. Believe it or not, that ended up being really easy.
Action here for Şengün.
Here's VanVleet. And he ends what was a 6-0 run.
Not going away at all.
VanVleet off the pick for three. That's a big shot by Phil VanVleet.
That would really be an accomplishment. Let's say VanVleet hitting a three.
There has been nothing since about the first 6 minutes of this game. A wide open look for VanVleet. They get something finally. You three, their second.
Craig, they finally get a stop.
To the dish ahead to VanVleet. He'll look to attack the block. Two by VanVleet. Has been their best three-point shooter. 44% a career high this year. 20 VanVleet scores. And Aaron Gordon. VanVleet off the screen. Three gets it back.
Good look there.
VanVleet for three. His third, he's got 15. It's Fred VanVleet for three. Off to VanVleet. Instant control. Shot clock at 9.
This team is absolutely dominating on the
Soon to be checking back in. VanVleet shakes healed. And VanVleet's got another answer.
Able to force turnovers.
VanVleet driving, gets some space up and over post. Shooter's touch, coach.
There it was.
Who guarded him a couple of nights ago. VanVleet has had a miserable series so far, but he knocks down his first field goal attempt. Fred VanVleet was sick from food poisoning in game 2, played limited minutes. VanVleet 2 for 2 from deep. Tone setter for Houston early. He has been aggressive offensively. Golden State needs that. VanVleet draws the foul. VanVleet overhealed with the mid-range. It's pure. He is feeling it to start this game. So much for this. Thompson cross court. VanVleet for three. Knocks it home. He's down to 6.
3 of 6. Rockets have made the playoffs for 5 years until this year. Big three by VanVleet. He needed that. VanVleet. Step back, 3 over 5.
That's huge. Yeah, you mentioned it coming into tonight.
A screen and a 3 on the floor. VanVleet knocks it in. It's a triple.
Man, what a first half.
In game 3. VanVleet.
How about the answer? Right there, VanVleet with his...
VanVleet, they want to move the ball. Small Jason running 3.
There it is.
VanVleet with another triple. Timeout, Golden State. This will be out there. Double by Puchowski. VanVleet. A 3. Another one. They're leaving it open, and he is nailing them. 6 on Green. Houston by 1. VanVleet is ring. Fred VanVleet with another 3. He has been a flamethrower. Şengün at 29. It's VanVleet for 3. Bullseye! What a shot!
Thompson goes right into Curry. And it is all Houston at the start. Steven Adams is checking. It's VanVleet. They are scalding hot here at the San Francisco. Here's VanVleet. It's a deep 3. And the Rockets just can't make
And especially the long ball against this talented Golden State team, as VanVleet is carrying over.
shot clock out of 4. VanVleet with 63. My goodness. He had Buddy Hield. He stays out of bounds. VanVleet to the rim. Just masterful. Shot clock with 6.
By Şengün. VanVleet open in the corner. That's good. VanVleet has been absolutely
Minutes in the NBA.
Oh, no, and Steve Kerr is laughing. He's like, okay, guess you're feeling it, young fella.
Oh, VanVleet feeling it as well. And it gets his second course of the game that this is it. We could be out.
I think leading into it, as you see VanVleet knock down that three, leading into it, your intensity.
Second rejection. VanVleet pulls up, nails the three. Fred VanVleet now with 18 points and the lead up to 9. Smart game, try and keep their season alive. VanVleet gets inside, flips it up, and gets the bounce. 20 points for Fred VanVleet.
Fouling and rebounding.
All right, thank you.
All right, Lisa. Fred VanVleet knocks down a three and the foul. And for the rebound, throws it right to Şengün. Back to VanVleet, puts up a three. It's good. Fred VanVleet knocks it down. Largest lead.
3-point attempts in game 6, but the worst shooting night of the series.
Fred VanVleet scores the first bucket. Kelly Scott to start calling fouls on the slide down of his hand. That is VanVleet, silky smooth jumper.
Players in this zone seems to be, even throughout the playoffs, we've seen a lot more zone period in the league as Fred VanVleet dribbles into a three. And look, he's doing it all day.